Looks like Hafley has 2 out of 3 of his coordinators, and at the time I recorded this, maybe he's got the 3rd. What is up, Fins fans, and welcome to Fins Temporal Focus. Going to be talking about the coordinator situation. It's pretty much taken care of, looks like, as of me recording this. Now, I didn't do a lot on the who we think is going to be the DC, but definitely hired. They just haven't come out and said this is your new defensive coordinator. This video is actually about the new offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowik. Pretty cool. Hired from inside the Miami Dolphins. He has been the pass game coordinator for the Dolphins this past year, and he has been promoted to offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins and Jeff Hafley. The other one, I think, is a pretty good hire. I think it's a really good hire, and as of last year, he was the Bills special teams coordinator, Chris Tabor. At least that's the way I'm pronouncing it. I haven't really heard people say it very often. So, Tabor, T-A-B-O-R. So we're going with Tabor. But he has been an amazing special teams coach and a long career as a special teams head coach, including some years with the Chicago Bears that were very nice. So we're going to talk about them, as well as the fact the Dolphins have just hired Sean Duggan. He is the linebackers coach for the Green Bay Packers, or was the linebackers coach for the Green Bay Packers. Now he is a member of the Miami Dolphins. We just don't know exactly yet what his position is with the Miami Dolphins. Guessing, since he has been with Jeff Hafley since his Boston College days and has pretty much followed him around, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is probably going to be the Miami Dolphins' new quote-unquote defensive coordinator, because, like we said, Hafley has already come out and said he's going to be calling the plays for the defense. So it would make sense that he would get somebody who is very familiar with his defense to come in as the DC for the Miami Dolphins. I don't have a lot on him. Like I said, I was making this video about Bobby Slowik and Chris Tabor. Man, I can't pronounce names. Tabor, I believe, is the way you say it. Chris Tabor. Tabor. T-A-B-O-R. Tabor. Chris. So we'll start with Slowik, the offensive coordinator now for the Miami Dolphins. Last year, this very past year, he was the Dolphins pass game coordinator. He also interviewed with the Eagles for their OC job. He chose to, well, I don't know if he chose to come to Miami or if the Eagles were going in a different direction. Either way, Miami got him. And I know even San Francisco was talking very highly of Bobby Slowik. And he was also the Texans offensive coordinator during the C.J. Stroud rookie season, when he threw 23 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Now, that fell off a little bit. He was there as their OC for 23-24. They fell off in 24 But the big thing is Stroud was sacked 52 times, second most in the NFL that year. So they let him go, and then he signed on as the Dolphins pass game coordinator. Before that, he was with San Francisco 2017 to 2022 as the pass coordinator. And in those 6 years, he had several different labels, including like an assistant to the defensive coordinator or something like that. So either way, he has worked his way up, starting in San Francisco mostly, and then he had the OC job for the Texans. And of course, the big year was 2023 when Stroud had his breakout rookie season, and then they regressed a little bit, cost him his job. He ends up in Miami as the pass game coordinator, and now he is the Miami Dolphins offensive coordinator. I'm not upset about that hire. I like the fact that they kept somebody that was already on the inside. I don't know, because Mike McDaniel called the plays and ran the plays over the last 4 years that he was with the team. So I don't know what pass game coordinator really consists of. So I'm assuming when you listen to Halfley and Sullivan, for that matter, they are talking about a power game and power running game. So I'm assuming he will bring in probably a little more of San Francisco style, maybe running game, but a lot more out of the I formation, probably a lot more under center than what they had under Mike McDaniel. I know they've talked vigorously about they want the quarterback under center. And then you have Chris Tabor. I'm going to keep messing that up, and I apologize, but Chris Tabor, he was Bills he was the Bills special teams coordinator last year. They were 4th in kick returns last year, 29th in punt returns. So very good, not so good kick return, punt return ratio there. But it was in top 5 punting and kickoffs. So he's still, the Bills special teams were very good. He was with the Panthers in 2022 and 2023. He was also their interim head coach in 2023. And that tells me something as well, because when you bring in an interim head coach, if a head coach gets fired, the guy that they bring in as the interim usually is a player's coach. It's somebody that the players can kind of rally around to make something out of the season. So to me, that says a little bit about his character and who he is, because they brought him in as interim head coach in at the end of 2023. He was also the Bears special teams coordinator from 2018 to 2021. But even more impressive is during the Devin Hester years, he was also their special teams coordinator 2008 through 2010. Before that, 2011 through 2017, he was special teams coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, and has pretty much had a solid special teams everywhere he's been. There may be something fall off a little bit here and there, but a very solid special teams coach. So that's what it looks like right now. Again, Bobby Slowick, Chris Tabor, I don't know, Chris, the new offensive coordinator and special teams coordinator. So guys, that's pretty much all I've got on them. And then, of course, you've got Sean Duggan, who I think will probably, the way they're talking, I need to rephrase that, because it's not what I think. I would have never thought about him being defensive coordinator. Going from what I've heard, I need to rephrase that one, because that one's not coming off the old noggin. It is looking like he's going to be the Dolphins' new defensive coordinator. And the other thing I wanted to mention real quick, and leave a comment. Let me know, do you like these hires? Are you excited in any way? Do you think it's a total flub of the situation? Tell me what you think. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all those nice things. And then I probably should have done this at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to do it at the end of the video, and that is a congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots for heading to Super Bowl 60. I will do a video on the Super Bowl and who I think will win, even though I think I've gave a few spoilers for that, but I'll give a little bit more in detail and why I believe the way I believe. So again, I was for the Rams. I did pick Seattle to win if you watched my picks video. I picked New England. I was for Denver. So both teams that I was for did lose, and I actually picked that they would lose. Hard sell, because I really did not want New England. Seattle I'm fine with. I really didn't want New England there, although I do love Mike Vrabel. I've said that a billion times. I absolutely love Mike Vrabel as a head coach. I hate the fact that we're going to have to deal with him for many years to come. So with that, that puts me in the playoffs. I was 2-0, so I was 6-2 during wild card week. I was 3-1 in the semifinals and 2-0 in the championship. So 11-3 overall in my playoff picks, and that's where we are with that. I will do a video for the Super Bowl. I will also, as soon as I know a little bit more. Again, I don't think the defensive coordinator job really matters, and I think that's why Sean Duggan is going to get the defensive coordinator job, because we know Hafley is going to be calling the plays, at least early on. Hopefully that works out for him. It has not worked out for a lot of coaches for the Miami Dolphins. But hopefully it works out for Hafley, for the Dolphins' sake. I hope it works out with Hafley. I will also be coming on here and trying to do a video on guys that are in Miami right now that I think are safe, and guys that I think that are not safe and are probably going to move on this off season. Then I will also down the road be making a video, of course, getting closer to draft, talking about maybe some college players that I would like to see Miami get. If I find out, let me rephrase that, as I find out who the Dolphins might be interested in, I'll pass that on to you too, and hopefully you'll give me some feedback on those, if you think they're guys we should go after, guys we shouldn't. And during the off season, I will be doing a lot of little things regarding past Miami Dolphins. I don't know where I'm going to go with that. I thought I might do maybe do some all-time lists. Let me know what you think, or what you might want my opinion on, and then you guys can add to it, if you think, which doing it for the Miami Dolphins, I may do an NFL one. I don't know. My top 5 or 10 quarterbacks, or my top, if I could build a team, who would I have on my team? All those things. I'm going to be trying to come up with a few things like that for the off season, where we can kind of look back on some glory days in South Florida. Obviously, I grew up a Marino fan, that era. Guys that are older than that, leave some comments about the 70s era. I didn't really start watching the Dolphins until around 80. I didn't really watch them heavily until around 87. But I started kind of catching on 85, maybe 86. But 87 is when I became obsessed and I wouldn't miss a game. I was obsessed with Marino, Clayton, all those guys, Duper, different ones I can go over. Those are obviously the main 3 that everybody talks about. There's so many other players. Maybe talk about some unsung heroes during those time frames. Same for the 70s Dolphins. And if you have any ideas, please leave a comment, let me know, and we'll discuss it and see if it's something that I think, hey, this might be worth doing, or if it's something that you guys are interested in. I will be happy to do that. But that'll be the main thing I'll be doing during the off season, is talking about the past. Like I said, Vin's Temporal Focus. It is study of past, present, and future. Here recently, we are basically doing future, and then of course when we talk about the draft, we'll be talking about the future. We've done present for too many weeks, unfortunately, for the Dolphins, and now it's time to relive some past moments and some great moments that we all lived together, watching Marino wing it, whether it's watching Marino wing it for 17 years, or if it's watching Larry Zonka run over 75% of defenses, and just have some fun and reminisce a little bit. So those will be the videos that will be coming out. I'll give you a heads up. Like I said, probably do like a top quarterbacks, top receivers. I may do the quarterbacks as NFL. That way I can get everybody pissed off, because everybody's going to say Tom Brady, and I don't know if he's my particular GOAT, but he would definitely be on that list before New England fans go crazy. Not because of New England, to be honest, but because of the fact he turned around and went to Tampa Bay and then won another Super Bowl. That was my turning point with Tom Brady, where you kind of have to just go, yeah, what else can you say? He literally championship after championship with New England, and then he leaves and goes and gets championship Tampa Bay. So, yeah, he's probably the GOAT. At least if you go by Super Bowls. I've always said I don't go by Super Bowls, but his is really, really hard to ignore. Sucks. Going to end this video on a downer. But anyway, guys, make good decisions. Let me know what you think about the Bobby Slowick and the Chris Tabor. I'm going to mess that up for as long as he's here. Hires. And guys, make good decisions, and fins up.